Hello, all. This was originally going to be a bigger production with like a parody of a YouTube thumbnail, typical YouTube thumbnail, and the first line of the video or the script. You might be wondering why you're looking up at me from the point of view of my penis. That doesn't make any sense, you're probably thinking. And it was just a pain in the ass setting that shot up, and then. And it's been real busy since getting home from the conventions, and there's a lot to do to get ready for RopaCon and especially Gen Con. So I'm just going to read this cranky shit out instead of making a big production out of it. Uh, so let's get started. So so the thing is, the intended opening didn't make any sense. And I say it makes just as much sense as going to the internet looking for gaming advice. And then we get to the point. I know gaming has a reputation for housing the socially inept, but not even the most hopeless loser needs to be typing, "How do I have fun?" into a goddamn search field. Let me explain. Role playing is basically the intersection of improv theater and VCR instructions. So the people interested in RPGs are theater kids and nerds. Gaming is not rocket science. It's not a formula to be cracked. There is no one way. If you're bad at running or playing RPGs, there is no advice that's going to help you. It's not a technique-driven endeavor. If you're in the middle of a game and you're floundering, trying to manage the rules and all the people with you at the table, you're only going to make things worse, adding on to that by trying to recall what somebody on the internet told you. Because you see, there's only two important things in RPGs: comfort and confidence. And they can't be taught. There are no techniques to achieve them. You can only become comfortable and confident by doing it. Fumbling through shit you don't know, feeling really embarrassed when you don't know what you're doing. And eventually, you figure out what's important to you and how to better navigate things so you get what's important to you. I made the mistake while at conventions in the US and the UK recently of passing time in airports and hotels on my phone, which I'm recording this on right now instead of setting up the fancy cam. And my dumbass clicked on a tabletop RPG YouTube video at some point during the trips. I never watch that kind of thing at home. But I was bored. I clicked one, and now my front page is full of that shit. Everyone's got advice. Everyone's trying to tell you what to do. Everyone wants to be the person people look to, so they gather status and be king of the geeks. I've met so many of the people in the RPG space, in the industry, social media influencers, YouTubers, and if you listen to any of our advice, you're going to be less like you and more like us. You don't want to be any of us, really. Trust me on that. None of us are anything to emulate in any way. And, I'm not saying this because they're all assholes or they're all stupid. I'm just saying people need to make their own way. That's the point. And even if you do try to be like one of us anyway, well, we've already got one of those, so then we won't need you. There are as many ways to roleplay as there are role players, and as much as we all want our preferences to be universally adopted, the truth is, it is a game, so if you're enjoying yourself, you're doing it right, and that's the end of the discussion. A lot of us on your screens here, we've been doing this a long, long time. I started playing over 40 years ago. I had no idea what I was doing. None. No clue. I was self-taught from the books, and what we were doing at first wouldn't even be recognizable as role-playing, really. But I and we, people I was playing with, we figured it out. At first I ran games for friends I recruited, Then I met other people who were already playing, and I just ran games for other kids as best I could, played in other people's games when I could, and over time it just became second nature because I did it so much. And that's what you have to do. There are no shortcuts. Run games, play games with different people. Strangers. I mean, that's scary, I know, but this isn't, this is like a hobby. This is like a long-term thing. You know, any hobby you have, you start basic and then you get fancy as you do it more. This is, but suggesting you play with strangers. You hear horror stories on the internet. It seems that people want to do everything they can to make you play less. No gaming is better than bad gaming. What's the definition of bad gaming? Well, anything that differs just a little bit from whatever you think your preferences are, even if you've never played a fucking game, because I have a feeling a lot of the people on the internet having these discussions don't play much, if ever. But occasionally, you do run into someone, because there are a lot of socially inept people in this space, people wanting to escape into a fantasy world, and they see the other people involved as more of an obstacle than facilitators of that. And I dare say socially inept people wouldn't be using YouTube to figure out how to do a social hobby. So you're probably the horror story in the groups you join. Sorry to be the one to tell you. But navigating the people is as much as part of the hobby as figuring out dungeon design or combat tactics. If that sounds awful, then maybe a social hobby isn't the right choice for you. And this is me saying that. This is me. Me. I hate people. And I can still figure this shit out. The people you game with don't have to be people you would socialize with in any other context. You're there to game, not find general life partners. And if you are there to hang out with friends, then why are you sweating the game details? You're hanging out with your friends, damn it. And I keep changing hands because I went to the gym for the first time in a while and my arms are fucking dead, so of course I'm not using the tripod. And this phone suddenly feels very heavy. Anyway. The whole online RPG community thing is so weird because your RPG community is the people you play with. Not the people you interact with online. And the thing is, people into any of these games just casually have better things to do than watch RPG discourse videos. People who are a little too into these games, well, hi everyone watching this. We're all strange human beings. Stop acting surprised when someone around here shows signs of maladjustment or abnormality. Normal, sane people don't do subcultures. You unself-aware fuckhead. Everybody participating in a subculture is a broken person self-medicating with a specialized interest, so stop pretending you're any better than all the people doing shit you disapprove of. You're not better, you're just differently deranged. Fucked up obsessives are why any odd interest works. We either accept that we're all locked in here with each other, or we go find some other interest and then eventually despair about why there are evil freaks over there too. It's like, hello? If you're looking for that kind of community, that's what makes up those kinds of communities. Because normal people don't do any of this kind of shit. So, as you weirdos put in long hours playing and running games, you discover your own methods, your own preferences, your own ways. You become comfortable at the table and confident in how you do things. It'll take some time, but it's like any other activity. And I should stick to the script because I made that point already. You get better at any activity by doing the activity. And all the advice in the world melts away into irrelevance at that point because nobody can tell you how to do you. I've come to the conclusion that online discourse is pretty much narcoleptics trying to tell insomniacs how to sleep. The role-playing hobby is not going on the internet and listening to other people about how to play. It's not going online and engaging in discourse. It's certainly not going on the internet and watching other people play. You'll pick up many bad and terrible habits doing that. If you're doing these things, you're not doing playing, and playing is what the hobby is. That's all any of this is supposed to be in service of: playing with real live people. So go do that and ignore everything the people on your screens, the people who all pretend to have an endless amount of amazing advice on a very scheduled basis, are trying to tell you. Except for me, obviously. I am the one who knows what he's talking about, and I know what's good for you. So like and subscribe and hit the bell and